I guess it's time to get up, get moving for the day. Try to grapple with what even happened last night. Let's make tea. It's been a few days since I had tea. Let's make tea. What does that mean? When it's supposed to look like this, but it looks like this. Why do those look like that? Erica, why did you just put it back? Because bicycle riding. It's early. Okay. Church is about to be on. I feel like I'm too far away. Erica, why don't you just put the camera right in front of you? Because, Alright. So, church, I have like less than 10 minutes before church starts, but anyway, let me just, good morning. I haven't had a sip of my tea yet. I'm still kind of waking up. It's a long weekend, so like all I needed was a little bit of rest and then I was gonna feel better, but story time, okay? Story time. I know I've been kind of saying really quickly in snippets that I was getting my hair cut, I was getting my hair done, I finally needed it cut, I had been waiting for this, right? So my appointment came yesterday. And the particular person that I was getting the service from happens to be in another city that's like maybe 40, 45 minutes away, depending on the day and the traffic flow and all that stuff. But she's not close, right? But I was willing to travel to just kind of see how, like, just see. If she could do a good cut, do a good service, just find out what my experience would be like, because it wasn't like I was going to start getting like my hair trimmed or like straightened every month or whatever. I just needed like a good starting ground from where I jacked it up. I need it to be reshaped. And then every so often, maybe every 3 months or so, I would go back and get it refreshed, get it trimmed, and just get it back on the track of healthy so that it will grow faster. So like if everything would have worked out, I would have been fine going to see this person in another city to get my hair done every few months. Like that would have been fine for me. Like, that's nothing. So it was actually a referral from someone else that travels out there to get their hair serviced. So we kind of coordinated the appointment back in December, like before Christmas or so, and in like a group text, in a group chat. And so we coordinated, we set the appointment. She sent me the information on where she was, and like it was all good. I didn't go back to it since then. Like I'm just like, okay, the appointment isn't for like another month, so I have everything I need, like, just whatever. I hadn't seen any like social medias or like any, aside from the person that I know that gets their hair done, I just didn't know anything about this person. Okay. I just trusted the referral. And I figured that the person was like older. So I was like, not everybody does social media or whatever. But I just wasn't anticipating or expecting a lot. So the appointment rolls around yesterday and it's at 9 a.m. So when I said when we were coordinating that I was flexible and time, just let me know when you're available, like I'll work it out. It just has to be after this time. She's like, cool. Well, how about this date at 9 a.m.? And I was like, oh shoot. Like, yeah, 9 a.m. is fine when it's down the street, but 9 a.m. across town was going to be a little bit challenging. In my mind, I was just like, oh, okay, I'm going to have to get my ass up and go to, this other city and be there on time, which is fine. It's more than I like to do on a Saturday or a Sunday, but it was totally fine. So then I get up at like my normal time because I'll circle back to that. I've been on a sleep schedule and I've been fasting, so my normal time to get up would have been 6 a.m. anyway. So it was fine. I just knew that I needed to leave by 8 a.m. Like I needed to be on the road rolling by 8 a.m. because the way that Phoenix is, their road construction and detours and closures and this is and that's, that 45 minutes could have easily turned into over an hour. So I was like, I need to be as early as I can out of the door to get on the road. I make it out of here on time. In fact, not only do I make it out of here on time, but I make it to the spot by 8:30. We were at the spot by 8:30 a.m. We were the first customers in the place. So we pull up and okay, let me back up, right? Let me back up. Let me back up to the night before the appointment, right? So Friday night, just trying to like get my plan going on what time I had to leave, how far is the place, what is the place, like just getting prepared for where I'm about to go. The link that she sends me, I click on that link and it turns out to be an Apple Maps link, And so when I click on it, because I do not have an iPhone, I do not subscribe, I will not conform to that fuck shit. I'm not doing it. I do not care how many people on this planet have an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. I will not get one. I won't. Okay? So we need to figure out how to commingle and live on this planet together. We just do. Because I'm not doing it. Everybody around me has an iPhone. And that's fine. Okay? Just don't iPhone me shit. Like, don't do that Apple shit to me. Don't Apple talk to me. Don't Apple communicate with me. But she's new. Right? She don't know. She sends me an Apple Maps link. When I click on it, there's the map, like the topography map, and the point where I'm like where the place is. But that's it. And then under that map, it has the name of the place and no address. iPhone apps, Apple apps, or whatever the fuck, do not translate. Like, people don't understand this. They don't translate well to at least the type of Androids that I have, and they're all been Samsungs, okay? When you Apple phone me shit, it does not translate to like whatever you think you're sending me. It does not come through on my end, right? And I know this because I have friends that have iPhones, I have family that has iPhones, and I have to tell them all the time, do it right. Send it to me this way. What are we talking about here? Because it's not coming through the way that you think. And so I'm used to that. So when I realize that it's an Apple Map thing and it's not going to work for me, and I didn't see an address. I just saw, here's the pinpoint where you should be, and here's the name of the place. I took the name of the place and I put it in my Google Maps. Google Maps is not iPhone Maps, it's not Samsung Maps, it's Google fucking Maps. It's a universal language. Google. More people should just use Google, right? That's like English language. Everybody kind of gets the gist, right? I took the name and put it in my Google Maps. I'm like, because this is what I do with iPhone people. When I put the name in my Google Maps, it showed me a whole list of things. Again, I've never heard of this place, and why would I? It's all the way in the East Valley. I'm in the West Valley, okay? So just because they have a bunch of shit over there doesn't mean that it's different. Like, okay, I've never heard of this place though. I put it in Google Maps. It gives me a whole bunch of different things and a whole bunch of different things in different cities. So I'm like, or like in different states, right? And that's fine. I had to put it in a little bit more information for it to give me exactly what I needed. So I put in the name of the place plus the city that I knew that it was in, right? To narrow down the results, to give it some detail. And it pops right up. Now, I can't retest this because my phone and my Google Maps already understands that I'm trying to get to this place in that city. What I'm getting at is this. I don't remember if when it popped up, if that was the only location that popped up, or if it was that location plus other, like the same name in different locations. I don't remember seeing multiple locations of this said name of a place. I just know that it popped up and I clicked on that one. I'm like, oh, okay. It said the city and it gave an address, and like I didn't think to cross-reference an address with, like I just didn't think. And I couldn't cross-reference the address that showed up for Google Maps to the iPhone Maps because there was no address that popped up. It was just the name and the map. So then it said, however long way, and here's how you get there, whatever. I'm like, cool. So as I left here on time and got there by 8:30, and I saw the building and the picture, just like the pictures. I went through the pictures to see what I was getting into, looked around inside the place to kind of see what I was going to expect, and whatever. So when we pulled up, it looked just like what I had researched. And you walk inside, and it's a salon suites, right? Salon suite building. And our salon suites are typically in like a strip of, I won't call it a strip mall because that sounds like trash, but it's like strip shopping, retail, medical. There's a bunch of stuff in like one strip of building. There's the salon suite, there's this other thing, and there's this other thing. Across the parking lot, there's a Costco, there's this. It's like in a shopping area, right? So you walk in, we're the first ones there because the building, the salon suites opens at 8 a.m. The coffee shop inside, in the middle of all the suites, opens at 8 a.m. Most of the salon individual suites, the stylists don't open their doors until 9 a.m. So we were there early. We were the first ones. The coffee shop was getting going. And so we're like, okay, it's early as hell. It's cold. Like, let's have a coffee. So we get a coffee and we go and sit down. Like it's not a lounge, but like a waiting area with like different seating opportunities all within the salon suites. So I was like, oh shit, which door is this person? And so I go back to the group message to see if there was any mention of which door along with the link, and sure enough there was. She sent suite blah 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 and then the link. So I was like, okay, it's easy. It's number 1. Like, it's right here. So there we walk to that door, which was closed, and there were seats right outside that door. So we just sat there and we waited patiently. And so I figured, most stylists are in there, or they'll get to their suite a little bit early before their first client to prepare for their long day or whatever. Like, that's just my experience. Nobody, like, nobody came by. We were there until 9 o'clock. Once 9 o'clock hit, all of the stylists started trickling in and going to their suites and like starting their services, and clients were coming in for their appointments, etc., etc. So then when 9 o'clock rolls around, I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe she's running a few minutes late, or maybe like she'll come on time or a few minutes late, or maybe she's already in there and because she's preparing, she doesn't have her door open yet and she's just waiting until appointment time. Like, I don't know. Again, I don't know what to expect. The referral didn't really tell me anything special, so I'm just like, all right, we'll just hang tight. Um, so then once 9 o'clock rolls around, no. After once we got there at 8:30, we got our coffee, we sat down for a few minutes. At like 8:45ish, I knocked on the door just in case she was in there and wanted to start early. I knocked on the door at 8:45. I didn't hear an answer. And so I kind of looked around the corner because there was a window on her suite to see if I could see her in there or anything. The window was covered. So whatever. And I was like, okay, maybe she's not in there, or maybe I didn't knock hard enough, and or I don't know. I don't know. I I go back to sit down, and I was like, let me just chill out. Just because I'm early doesn't mean that everybody's going to be early and ready and whatever. So then 9 o'clock rolls around, and all the other stylists are coming in, trickling in. It's like picking up in noise and traffic, and still nothing behind this door. No activity. Nobody's walking past us that looks like the person who we're looking for, right? So then at 9:05, I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be the one that's late. Like, I don't want us to be sitting out here wasting time if she's actually in there. Maybe she's asleep. I don't know. So I go back and I knock on the door a little bit louder, a little bit harder. Crickets. Nothing. So then we go around and look at the window again, and there was actually a little sliver on the window where you could see through. So when I say that the window was covered, there was like a film or something that you couldn't see through it. It wasn't blinds or curtains or anything. It was like a film. But there was a little sliver where there was not film. You could see the ceiling, and by the looks of that, it was dark, like nobody was in there. So then I'm like, what? Something's not right. And we're like, okay, we're in the right place, right? And I'm like, I don't know where else we could be. Like this is the salon suites. This is what I Googled, like whatever. So then the person who referred me, I reached out to them and was like, hey, can you tell me a little bit more about what to expect? Does she usually have her door open? Is it closed? Is she on time? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, she usually comes, she's an early riser. She's usually like working by 6 a.m. And I'm like, okay. And I was like, well, what would be the odds that she chooses today to oversleep or like not like no show on us? And so we were talking and she's like, well, I hope everything is okay with like her and her kids because this is really unlike her. And I was like, well, what is her suite? And she's like, oh, like she couldn't remember the number. But she's like right by the coffee shop. And the fact that the referral said right by the coffee shop, I'm thinking that we're in the right place because we just got coffee. There's a coffee shop right in the thing. So she's like her door is right by the coffee shop. But then I'm like, oh, okay, well, we're in the right place. We'll just wait a little while longer. And then, so we chilled out. I text her in the group and was like, hey, just to let you know, we're here. I'd sent that text to the group at like 9:05. No response. And my referral also saw that there was no response because I texted the group chat. And so we waited a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I'll just wait until like 9:30, and then we'll go like explore a little bit on the east side because there was also another place that we wanted to check out. So we're like, okay, we'll give it to 9:30 and then like we'll get up and go explore this other place. And then by then, either she will have popped up or we'll have an understanding of how the rest of the day is going to go. Either she's going to pop up and we'll come back and get, the service, or she doesn't pop up and we go the fuck home, right? So I make a stop first, and then we get to the other place that we wanted to check out. And the other place that we wanted to check out was basically a consignment store, which we have those over here on the West Valley. But for whatever reason, like this particular place was referred to us because I guess there's like good designer stuff or whatever. I don't know. But that it wasn't like we don't have consignment shops on our side of town. We do, lots of them. But something special about this place. And we're like, okay, we're over here. Like, let's just go check that out and kill some time and give her a chance to like wake up and get to work, or I don't know, say, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot about it. Typical stuff. Just give her a shot. So we go to the consignment place and we're walking around. We thoroughly, we take our time, check it out. And by this time, it's 10:30. All right. Time is going on. Our appointment was at 9. She has not responded to a text message. Let me go back. Before we go to the consignment shop, I make a stop. When I make that first stop, when we leave, I made that first stop. I called her just to give it another shot. I called her and was like, hey, we were there on time. I think we were in the right place. I'm pretty sure we're in the right place, but like we were there. I hope everything is okay. Just give us a call to let us know if you're okay, or like if you want to reschedule. Like we're still here kind of on this side of town, so just give us a call. Just let us know what's up. I called her, and at that time it was like 9:55. Okay, so I called, and then we go to the consignment shop and we shop around, and it's like 10:30. So by that time, I'm like, I'm probably not going to get my hair done today because I don't know what's going on, some weird fluke on my first time seeing her, but like she just has not responded. So I start shopping. There's lots of stuff, cute stuff that is my size, that's in great condition, that's really nice, and I'm like, I'm going to treat myself. I'm going to treat myself to some new new to me items. And while we're over here, I'm probably going to pick up something to eat because the East Valley has the foods. Okay. I like the foods. I was like, am I going to get Korean fried chicken? Am I going to get bao buns? Am I going to get, whatchamacallit? It's cheat weekend for me. So I want to eat while I'm over here. That was my thought process because I'm like, okay, I'm not going to spend the money getting my hair cut. I'm going to spend the money treating myself somewhere in another place. So then after the consignment shop, I spend what I spend, and then we go next door, take a little potty break, and then we go next door to that. And it's a bookstore, bro. I love books. We love books, okay? We reads around here. So we go to the bookstore. I didn't buy anything in the bookstore, but we perused thoroughly, all right? We perused thoroughly, and we get to a point, I was like, oh, I have a punch card for this shop. So the person that I was with, I was like, if you get something, I have a punch card and maybe that will give you a little discount or whatever. I got my treat. I'm not doing the books. Books is next month. Well, I'll get into that. So as I'm reaching in my bag to look for the punch card, I noticed that my phone is ringing, like lighting up. For whatever reason, I had it on silent still, or I don't know. I just didn't hear it, or I didn't feel it vibrating. But I saw it lit up, and when I pulled my phone out to see, it was the chick. But I couldn't answer it quick enough before it stopped ringing. So when I like get into my phone and I see she had text the group chat at like 10:45 or so. So we were at that place at 10:30. By the time I reached into my purse and found that my phone was ringing, it was 11. When I opened it to look at her response in the group chat, it was 10:45-ish, 10:45 or 10:58 or something that she had responded. And she was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, hon. My phone was on silent." First of all, if you know me, you know I hate 3-letter pet names. I hate hun, I hate gal, I hate, what's the other one? Sis, I hate, what's the other one? Mostly hun. So I'm like, oh no, she's a hunter. She's a hunter. I'm like, okay. But then she was like, "I'm sorry, my phone was on silent." And it's like, okay. But like, we knocked on the, so what are you saying? Like, was your phone on silent and you didn't wake up and come into work? Like you overslept? Or was your phone on silent, like you were in there the whole time and you didn't hear us knocking and talking? Like, what do you mean? But that's all she said was my phone was on silent. Not, hey, my phone was on silent. Are you guys still in the area? Do you still want to come? Do you want to reschedule? Hey, sorry, my phone was on silent. So I'm like, okay. So I called her right back and I was like, "Hey, this is such and such." And she's like, "Oh, hey, I'm so sorry. My phone was on silent." Okay, I got that much. So, and then I literally was like, "So, okay, we're actually still in town because we just kind of like did a little shopping. So, do you still have time to do us or do we need like what?" Because in my voice message, I said if we needed to reschedule or if you wanted to, whatever is going on with you, hope you're okay, like let me know. So in that moment when we're like having words, I don't know what fucking words because she wasn't saying anything. I was like, "So can you take us? Like, are you going to get up and come into work? Like, do you want to take us? Or should we reschedule? Like, what is it? What do we do now, basically?" And she's just like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, just can you give me an hour?" And I was like, "You're already late. Okay. So, what do you like? You want us to give you an hour and then meet you back at the place at 12?" And she's just like, "Yeah, that would be great." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." So I checked in with the other person that I was with. I was like, are you still good? Like, do we want to hang around for this since we're still here? Like, what do you, and they're like, "Yeah, it's fine." So we, because by this time we're like, um, by this time we're about, what did it say? Because it was 11:30 and the map showed that we would be there in 15 minutes. Yeah. So we were 15 minutes away. So I was like, I don't want to be late. I actually want to be early again so that I can like see her walk in. Like I just want to be there. Like she said she was still going to take us. Like I just want to be there on time and not like prolong this any longer. So we check out, get back in the car, and go back to the place where we came from. And we were there early again. We go back, and everybody's staring at us like, okay, these two chicks were here earlier, and now they're back. Like, we were getting the stares from the coffee shop people, and then from some of the other stylists that saw us sitting there when they were walking in that were now kind of like sitting in the lounge area. We were getting stares. So we go back and sit where we were sitting in front of that door number 1, which is still closed and the light is still off. So then 12 o'clock rolls around and I don't see anybody. I don't see her, like nobody knew, no activity. I knock on the door a third time. Crickets. So I'm like, okay, is something going on? Like, is she still late? Like, she said give her an hour. Maybe she's still trying to get her shit together and get to the shop. So then I wait till like 12:05 and I'm like, this is crazy. So then by this time I call my referral again and I'm like, what is going on? And again, we go through this whole thing like her door is right by the coffee shop, right when you walk in to the left, and all of that checks out. You walk into the front door, there's the coffee shop ahead of you. To the left is door number 1. And I'm like, I don't understand. And she's like, right by the coffee shop, right by the coffee shop. And I'm looking all the different ways. There's hallway where door number 1 is. There's the coffee shop. There's a door right next to it, but it's a flower shop. And then there's a door right next to it over here, and it's a salon suite, but there's white girls in there, and that's not I'm not looking for them. Like they're doing what they're needing to be doing, right? And then there's door number whatever on this side. So then I'm like getting so frustrated. Like we're literally going back and forth on the phone. Like it's right there, and I'm like, where? We're standing in front of the coffee shop. Like where is the door? And so finally, it was like, okay, ask the coffee shop people where such and such's door is. And I'm like, because they would know her? Because I'm looking at the coffee shop people and I'm thinking, and I'm just like, are they going to know what I'm talking about? Because I don't want to look stupid. And then, so the referral was like, well, is there a guy or girl there? And I was like, both. And I'm like literally looking at these people and they're looking at me as I'm on the phone. And I'm like, they're both there, a guy and a girl. And they're like, yeah, just ask them. Like they know her, like she orders from them all the time. And I'm like, okay. So I go up and I ask the chick, and I was like, excuse me, can you tell me where such and such's suite is? And she's like, I don't know that name. I don't know. And I'm just like, fuck, of course you don't. And I was like, maybe I asked the wrong person. Maybe I should have asked the guy. And he was delivering coffees or whatever. So the girl, she was like, let me go check something really quick. So she like leaves the coffee shop and goes around some which way, like disappears. And I'm on the phone and I'm with the referral, and they're like, they don't know her. Like, I don't understand. So then finally we look at this like directory, and the directory has a totally different name or like business for number 1. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Why would it be this name for door number 1? And I'm like, I'm so confused. And I was like, I don't understand how I could be in the wrong place. Like, I don't know where else it could be. So then we step outside. I'm still on the phone. And the referral's like, oh, she's like right next to a McDonald's and a this and a that. And I'm like, McDonald's? I don't see a McDonald's. I'm like, I'm looking at a Costco right now. She's like, oh yeah, there's a Costco right across the street. And I was like, across the street or in the parking lot? Because when I step outside the door and look over yonder, there's a Costco. And she's like, no, it's like right across the street. And I'm like, but we're not across the street. Like, what are we saying? What are we saying? I'm so confused. So then finally, after a frantic several minutes, I was like, I clicked on the link that she sent and it led me to this place, and it's a salon suite. So like, I can't be off. Like, so then what was it? Somehow we got to the point of the actual address. And so the referral was like, the address is blah, 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 blah. Oh, we were talking about streets. I'm like, we're on this street. And she's like, no, it's like on this street and this crossroads. And I'm like, I don't remember seeing any of those, but we're on this street. And so she gives us the address. We punch the address in, and it says that, this time when I put the address in, it doesn't give me a name. It just says 15 minutes away. And I'm like, 15 minutes away? That's going to make us late. We're in the wrong place, and it's going to make, like, we're actually the problem. It's going to make us late. So I hop in the car, and I'm like, I don't even know how this happened. I really don't know how this happened. So we hop in, we're following the instructions. When we pull up to the destination, the address, It is the exact same name of the salon suites that we came from, but it was another location 15 minutes away. So there's two salon suites called the same thing on opposite ends of town, I guess. And everything about it was identical. I still didn't see the McDonald's in the area, but there was a Costco across the street. You walk in and there's a coffee shop inside, and the coffee shop is to the left as soon as you walk in, and there's a door number 1 right there. So when the referral was saying the door is right there, she's right there, right there, it made sense to me why she kept saying that, because you walk in the front door, the coffee shop is there, then door number 1 is right there. So, and there's someone in there because the door is cracked. So we peek in and it's who we're looking for, and she's just like, oh, hey, hi, how are you guys? And I'm like, I'm fucking frustrated, to be honest, because there's another one of these over there. And I'm like, I promise you, we have been here since 8:30 for you, but we've been in the wrong place. And she's just like, oh, whatever, right? There's someone in her chair. There's already someone in her chair, which fine. It's now, what, 3 hours past our appointment. So I didn't blame her for if she had called someone in to like fill our spot because we're no-shows, or if that was her next appointment at like 11 or 12 or whatever, but there's someone in her chair, which was fine. And so I ask again, because by the time we got to the correct location, it was like 12:15-ish, 12:20-ish. We were late again. Well, not again. We were late because we were in the wrong place. So I ask again, like, are you sure you can take us still? Like, we're so sorry. And she's like, oh, no, that's fine. I'm just going to like work on her, and then I'll have you guys sit out here for a minute, and then I'm going to do you first, and then blah, 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 like a whole plan. And I'm like, okay, fine. I only saw one person sitting in the chair, feeling insane. We're looking at, like, everything is the same. It's the same name. It's the same setup. Like, it's the same doors, everything. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, how could I have prevented this, possibly? Any other normal time, I'm not looking at specific addresses. I'm putting shit in the map and it takes me there. And if I notice that there are multiple locations, I'm going to make sure I'm going to the right one. But like, that didn't happen this time. And again, I can't remember if it's because it didn't show me multiple locations or what. I don't know. I don't remember. And now, because I've Googled so much in the area about where I'm going, my phone and my maps is going to be trained to pull up the information that it knows I'm looking for versus pulling up what it pulled up for me in the first place. So, I don't know. But we went round and round trying to figure out like what the fuck happened and like how crazy this was. Like, even like, not even just the salon suites itself, but the setup like around it, the shops that were around it were very similar to where we were. We were early on time at the wrong place. So then we're sitting there, and the person that was in the chair already, she had her hair blown out, and it just looked like maybe she was on the last step of a service, which I assumed was like a curl or a flat iron or something simple. It wasn't until about 1 o'clock that she came out to receive us. And when she opened the door to receive us, I noticed that that person's hair that was in the chair was braided. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, those aren't quick. Those take hours. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll just see how this goes. Maybe she is going to rotate us. Like, maybe I'm going to let the profession, okay? But the person that was in the chair ahead of us, was definitely getting a full sewing style. And I'm like, okay. So although she said that she was going to start with me, she started with the person that I was with first, which was fine. I just needed one of us to get going in action. And so I sat out there by myself for a little while, which was fine. I'm chilling. My phone is dying at this point because it's been hours and I'm Googling and I'm trying to, my phone is overworking. And so I'm just chilling, peeping what's going on with everybody else in the suites and stuff. People are hanging out. I didn't remember checking my phone to see what time it was by the time I got back there. But next thing I know, she's coming back to get me, and it was a long while after. She comes out again to get me, and I see the person that she's doing the sew-in on is almost totally sewn in. And I was like, okay, she did that kind of fast. Maybe she's just gonna sew in a whole bunch of hair and then like let her go, because it was like a curly style. I was like, okay, she did that pretty fast, I guess. And she's already coming to get me, so at least we're rolling, right? So when I go into her suite, it's hella small, which fine, that's what they are. I don't see the person that I came with. So I was like, dang, where did they go? Like, I didn't even see them come out or anything. I was like, whatever, let me just mind my business. So I sit in the shampoo chair and I don't get shampooed. I get my first treatment was a steam treatment, which is fine. I've heard about them. I've seen about them. I've never had one. So she wanted to start me off with a steam treatment while she continued shuffling the rest of us. She continues her sewing or whatever. And then the person that I came with comes from around the corner after a while. There's like a common area where there are blow dryers. So that person was getting like a deep condition while steam, deep condition, come back. That person comes back and sits down, and now there's 4 bodies in this teeny tiny suite. The stylist, the person in the chair, the person I came with, and me at the shampoo. We're touching knees, okay? She turns the steamer on for me again, and we're all just sitting there waiting. She completes the person's sew-in, which was curly hair, and then she did this like custom ponytail, which took forever. I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God. By the time that person was done, paid, and left, it was 3:30. We had plans to see a movie at 4:50 on our side of town. So when that first sew-in left, I was still okay. I was like, okay, there's still a chance for the both of us to get done and back on our side of town before the movie actually starts. I had prepaid for the tickets. So I was like, all right, it's fine. We're good. It's still daylight, like it's fine. She seems to move somewhat fast. Like, my hair is not very difficult to do. It looks like it's scary, but it's really not. And so we were still okay. And we figured, okay, between the previews and all that stuff, if we could get there by 5, great, right? Especially since the person that I was with wasn't getting the same services that I was getting. It was going to be a much simpler thing. I was like, oh, okay, we have a chance. So then when that person leaves, how about the stylist goes outside and pulls someone else from thin air into the chair ahead of us? And I'm like, where the did you come from? Like, where was this person the whole time? I never saw another person. It was just that one girl in the chair. She goes outside and pulls someone else. I mean, this lady, her hair was not even halfway done. It was not done at all. She had a cape on, and I'm like, where were you? Another sew-in, bro. If you know, you know. Extensions are a whole half a day themselves. You have to separate a whole section, a whole chunk of time for an extension service. And they're going to pay for that too, okay? Because it's so time consuming. She had 2 of them shuffled in with us. And not to mention, no, I'm going to mention it. This person totally jacked up their hair. It was jacked. It was one of those situations where she needed to start fresh with the extensions, okay? Not try to like beef it up and make it last another month. That's what it was. I don't know how long she had the sew-in in, but it starts here and it was back here. And mushroomy, meaning your hair has grown out, it's big under there, and it's way back here. That's how much your hair has grown out. You don't need to try and make this stretch another month. You need to take this shit out and start over. On top of that, she had cut the front or something of her hair for whatever reason, and it jacked up the whole front. So the girl had to like pull it forward and sew it down so that it looked somewhat normal, and then undo the front and re-sew the front and cut her bangs because of what she was trying. I don't know what she was trying to do. Didn't get that part. So this lady got a sew-in adjustment, bangs, layers, face shaping, curls, and it took her forever. It took her to do this person, like it took forever. We were sitting there for the longest time. I promise you, I got like 3 steam treatments because I'm just sitting at the shampoo bowl. The person I was with was just sitting there after a deep condition, and she just kept turning the steam on. So then there was a point where she stopped with this person and came over to me and like shampooed me really good. She shampooed me with like 3 different shampoos, and then I put the conditioner on and had me go down the hall and sit under the dryer and was like, okay, come back when it turns off. I didn't sit there an hour. I probably sat there for 30 minutes. Honestly, it was really quick. So then once I'm done, I go back and she's still working on that lady for another what seems like 45 minutes. I'll probably say 40 minutes. 45 minutes. And it was crazy because the stylist is working so hard to like make magic from this mess, and so quickly that she ends up cutting herself. And so by this time, I know I'm trying to speed this up. By this time, we're still sitting in we're still just sitting with wet hair, and she's working on this person. When she cuts herself, I'm looking around and I'm not seeing any tissues or anything. So I get up, I step outside to the coffee shop to get some like paper towel, like some napkins for her because she's bleeding. And when I walk out, it's dark outside. The coffee shop is closed. A lot of the chitter chatter and the activity of the whole salon suites has gone down. If not, well, I won't say all of it, but a lot of it has gone down. Coffee shop's closed. It's dark outside. And I'm like, okay. My phone is also dying. So I'm having to hurry up and coordinate the tickets and send the tickets on to like, because it was like a group of us that were going to the movies, right? And half of us were going to be late. We thought. But then it got to a point where I'm like, we're not going to make this movie at all. And I had bought the tickets. So I sent the tickets on to the other half of the group because my phone was dying and I wanted them to have it at least so that we could just keep the ball rolling. And they're like, oh, you're not going to make it? And I'm like, probably not. Like, we're still like barely shampooed. And by this time it was close to 4. It was probably 4 o'clock. And I was like, text the other person if you like want to know more, but my phone's about to die and it's crowded in this place and I'm just over it. Like, I'm livid. The girl, even though I went and got her paper, like her finger started bleeding more and more, and so she had to like stop and go. She left the room and went down the hall for a while to like, I don't know if she was looking for band-aids or what, but she came back with like a band-aid and all that stuff, whatever. And continues on this lady and continues and continues and continues. And then finally, so when she went to go get a band-aid, the lady that was in the chair, she's like, I'm so sorry she took so long on me. And I was just like, I don't even know how to respond to that, but like, I guess it's not your fault, even though it is, like, it's everybody's fault why we're in this predicament, but okay. And then so she finally gets completed and leaves. The person that I was with finally gets to sit in the chair. And then she comes back and she like rinses the conditioner out of my hair and gives me another steam while she's working on the person that I'm with. And so it ends up being just the two of us at the end of the night, and that we didn't get out of there. We closed down the building, not just her suite, but the building. The lights went out in the main part. We didn't get out of there until 10 o'clock. That's 10 p.m. We were on this side of town from 8:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. We were hungry, we were tired, we were attitudinal, it was a hot mess. So while the snafu started as one thing, it ended as a totally whole different thing. Let me pause this and have my tea. How could this all have been prevented? I didn't anticipate our first time experience to be very much like a typical black salon process in a suite. Let me explain. In a typical black salon where there are multiple stylists in one space, you might have an appointment, but your appointment is at one time, somebody else's appointment is at another time, and you may not be done with your services by the time the next person comes in. So there's going to be an overlapping or a shuffling, if you will, of appointments throughout the day, especially on a Saturday. It's going to be jam-packed on a Saturday, and you better hope you get the very first slot or one of the first slots in the morning on a Saturday, because if you're not, and you come in at 1 or 2 o'clock, and there's 15 people ahead of you because they've been here since 6 a.m., bless you, because you're not getting out of here. You're closing the shop down, especially if somebody showed up late or it's taking extra long or anything could throw off the stylist schedule and put them behind. They're not going to tell you to go home and don't come back with your money. They're not even going to ask you to kindly sit down and wait all day long. It's just, hey, yeah, let me get you under the shampoo bowl, because once you're shampooed, it started, you can't do anything. I mean, you can leave, but you're going to have jacked up shampooed hair. But they shampoo you right away so that now you have to stay, however long it takes. I want to correct myself right here, because I'm not even going to say that this is a typical black salon experience. This is a typical salon experience where there's no respect for other people's time. And I won't say the G word as in greedy, but there's like, you're doing too fucking much because you're like juggling as many people as you can for as much money as you can, with a total disrespect of like other people's time, a lack of time management, an opportunity to improve customer service. I'm not even going to say that this is a typical black salon situation, because it's not. Now, the reason why I thought that at first is because all of the salons that I have been privy to or involved in,
Granted, you're not spending the entire day at the salon. You are spending several hours at the salon because you have been shuffled in with several other clients that are coming in at their respective appointment time, and you might get paused on so that the person that's just coming in at their appointment can get shampooed and put under the dryer, and then they come back to you, and you might get your hair blown out, and then somebody else comes and then they get shampooed, but the person that she already put under the dryer needs to go over here and da 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 da. That is a standard, like that's common that you'll see in salons, is like you're not going to have an entire start to finish appointment one-on-one necessarily. There's going to be maybe one or two other people in rotation, and so that will prolong your experience. Does that make sense? I had to catch myself. I'm like, wait, don't do us like that, because not everybody is like that. Not everybody is unprofessional like that. Not everybody is. You might be hungry, but you're not risking your like new clientele because you're trying to do too much. Does that make sense? Okay. All right.
right? In a suite, there might be some overlapping, but it's a suite and you're only one person and there's not a separate shampoo assistant. There might be one overlapping with another, but there aren't going to be 6 people overlapping in a suite. There's just not. Except for yesterday when I had my services. When we didn't show up at 9 o'clock, when 2 people did not show up for a 9 o'clock appointment, that's 2 heads of money that didn't show up. I don't know about you, but if I'm a business person doing a service for money and 2 heads don't show up, 2 heads of money don't show up at a certain time when they were supposed to, I was expecting them, I'm on the phone. Where are you? Because you're taking up my time. Like, you're going to put me off schedule because you're late or you no-showed and you owe me. Like, where are you? Right? We were the ones talking about where are you? And she didn't respond. Okay? She didn't respond to the text. She didn't respond to the call. She didn't respond. How many times did I call? I texted once. I called once. No, I did call twice, but the second time she picked up. Okay. But she didn't like pick up until like after like 10:30, talking about her phone was on silent, okay? She wasn't looking for us, which leads me to believe that if she was in her suite from 6 a.m., obviously she's not there like counting sheep, like she's there working. So the fact that she wasn't looking for us by the time 9 o'clock came around, which was our appointment time, means that she was already behind. And she wasn't looking for anybody else because she was already behind, right? With 2 people in the morning. Because we found out later that she had a total of 6 people in that day. And we were like this last of the 6. So she had 2 people from 6 a.m. to past 9 a.m. Okay? Which is why she wasn't looking for us. She didn't text us. She wasn't like, where are you guys at? Are you still coming? Are you no showing? Nothing. And then she still wasn't looking for us at 12 o'clock when she said, come back. Because we didn't get there until 12:20-ish. And she wasn't like, where are you bitches at? Where are you? Not a text, not a call. We just showed up and she was happy to see us. And I'm like, okay. The fact that we got shuffled in with a whole bunch of other people sucked. Like that, like I don't like that. And for us to be there for our first time and to have had to wait literally all day, like maybe the first part is not her fault. It's not. That was a weird freak accident. The fact that we went to the wrong place and were waiting there. But she wasn't looking for us. Our appointment. You know what I mean? We tried and she didn't answer her phone. So, and that's another thing. Like, your phone didn't like buzz, it didn't ring, it didn't do anything from 6 a.m. until after, like you didn't realize to like check your phone after several hours. And then what I didn't say was that when we did finally get there and we were shampooed and she was working on the first sew-in, her phone was going off. She took so much time away from doing that person's sew-in because she was on the phone talking to other clients that were just preparing for their appointments and like wanting to buy hair and this type of hair and like just like that's not necessarily your responsibility to hold their hand to pick out a very particular type of hair. You should know what to buy. You're the client. Figure out which kind of hair you want and bring it to the lady. Like, that's crazy. She took so much time away from services that were present to talk to these people on the phone. And her phone just kept going off and off and off and off and off. And it wasn't even her kids. Her kids didn't start calling until late at night, which I don't blame them. Very young. Did you not look at your schedule for today? You knew you had new people coming in. Even if time got away from you, you just like check your phone or your watch or whatever. I don't fuck. Did she have a watch? No, the other lady had a watch, but just that pissed me off. You weren't looking for us because you were already overdoing it with clients both times. You didn't answer your phone. You didn't have, I don't know. She could have said, you know what, I am swamped. I am not going to be able to take you, or we're going to have to reschedule or something because otherwise this is going to take you all night. I shouldn't have to say, I mean, I should have. I realize now that I probably should have said, regardless of what the scene was, regardless of whether I saw one person or 5 people, I should have said, hey, are you still going to be able to take us? We have somewhere to be by such and such time. I didn't think to say that because I didn't think it was a problem. There was only one person and it didn't look like she was getting a sew-in. You know what I mean? But even still, I feel like I shouldn't have to say, I have somewhere to be by such and such time because it's still earlier in the day. It should not take us 6 hours plus. Let me think. No, it was longer than that. It should not have taken us until 10 o'clock to get these services done. So, like, what am I just supposed to expect to be there all damn day? No. That's not fair. That's not right. So I shouldn't have had to say that. And she should have said, hey, are you going to be okay waiting? Because this is what it's looking like. This is what it's looking like for me. Like, I'm already behind. You guys were late for whatever the fuck reason. Like, that's okay. Like, I get accidents happen. But you guys were late. It threw off my book. I was already behind. And how, girl, at one point I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that, I didn't even say sorry. I'm like, I hope we didn't like throw off your book or like complicate the day or something. I don't know what it was. And she's just like, oh, I mean, yeah, kind of, but as long as I was able to get you in, that's fine. So it's our fault now because we didn't come at 9 o'clock and you said that you could still take us in. It's our fault. Like, you were already behind and you should not have booked 6 people like that. And maybe you should have had your phone on. So it's not really our fault. How could this have been prevented? I don't fucking know. The first part, I don't know. But the second part, she could have said, hey, it's too late. That ship has sailed. You're going to have to reschedule or whatever. But and it would have made it easier on her because she had been up for hours. She had been up all day long. Like, just working on hair. She did not sit. She had like one energy drink, but I didn't see her eat, like nothing. And I'm like, that's crazy. That's slave labor. That's crazy. It would have been easier on her if she would have just said, you know what, I'm going to cut my losses here and go. But here's the other thing. She had mentioned that she had been sick for the past 4 days. You know what that means? Part 2 of you know what that means is she was trying to make up the money by cramming as many people as she could in between between Friday and Saturday because she had been sick the whole week before, which is understandable. hustle, grind. But at the same time, don't fucking do that. Like, we don't have time to be sitting here all damn day for a shampoo and a haircut. That's fucked up. So the reason why she didn't say no, let's reschedule, is because she would have missed out on however many hundreds of dollars that we were going to be giving her. That's not fair. Oh, Erica, you're so better, so much better than me. I would have been walked out. Listen, if it was in my character to just walk out, I would have, but it's not, right? Did I foresee the whole chain of events happening? No. If I would have, yes, I would have said, no, damn that, let's reschedule. I'm not, like, had I known, right? In hindsight, had I known, I would have said, no, we're okay. We'll just have to figure it out and start all over again another time. And probably would not have, because it was a waste of drive. You know what I mean? Like, that didn't happen because, yeah, it didn't happen. I just did not think that it was going to be. I thought at the most, we were going to be a little late for our movie. I didn't think that we would be getting home at like 11 o'clock, 11 p.m. I hadn't eaten anything. She didn't say, hey girls, like, if you want to go eat something or like take a break. You know what I mean? It just wasn't that at all. There was no like communication or coordination or like, hey, an acknowledgement of like how long of a day we had. Nothing. So then there was a point in time where when I finally got in the chair and like my hair was getting cut and we were nearing towards the end, sorta, we were having a conversation, right? And her kids started calling more and more towards the end of the night, which was understandable. I was like, oh, how old is the youngest one? And blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, that's cute. And then the person that I was with, I was asking about their kid and, just they were showing me pictures of their kid. And I was like, oh, okay, blah, 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 blah. Just asking how the kids are, how they are. So then a few minutes later, the stylist asked me, she's like, do you have any kids? And I was like, no. I don't know this person, right? Normally, and I don't know, you're stranger friends, right? I don't know you guys, but I put my business out there. But it's different. Like people that you don't know from afar telling stuff to, that's different from like someone in your face that you don't know telling stuff to. So I was just like, no, I don't have kids. And then she was like, do you want kids? And I was like, yeah, I do. I just don't want to go down this road. And then a few minutes after that, she's like, well, is there anyone in particular that you want to have kids with? And I'm like, what? I've never been asked that question. Is that a question that people ask? Like, do you have your eyes set on someone that you want to have kids with? Is that a real fucking question? I've never been asked that question. Never been asked that question in my life. I didn't even know what to say. So by the time I feel like this, third time's a charm, right? She wasn't going to stop asking questions. So it was like, if I had said, no, there's not, she would have kept asking questions to understand what my deal was. Because she didn't get it after the no and the yeah, right? She didn't take a hint after that. So when she's like, is there anyone that you have your eyes set on to like have kids with? I don't know how she framed the question, but it was basically that. Like, is there anyone that you want to have kids with? And I'm like, and maybe the question was meant to be like, are you single? Like, why wouldn't you just ask if I'm single or not, right? I don't know. So then after that, I kind of look at the person that I was there with, like I side-eyed them and they kind of looked at me and I was like, okay, so here's the story, right? I struggle with infertility. I've been trying, like I do IVF. I had a loss like a year ago, actually this month. And so, yes, I love kids. I want kids, but it's just not that easy. and like I'm not waiting around for a relationship in order for me to like have kids. And then she's like, oh, so you're doing it alone? I was like, yes. And then she's like, are you sure? Are you sure about that? And I was like, what? And I was like, I'm pretty fucking sure. I've been trying for 3 years. Like, I don't have time to wait around for someone. Like, my goal is to blah, 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 blah. And like, it's just not that important to me right now. And, but the fact that she's like, are you sure? Is like, bitch, who are you? Like, I'm pretty fucking sure. Like, who says that? Who says that? And then, like, she like goes into this like quickly goes into this prayer, like she's praying for me, which is fine. That might sound weird to you. That's not weird to me. It's not uncommon because it's not uncommon, and it wasn't weird. It was unexpected, but it wasn't weird or strange or odd. Okay. um So like that was really nice of her. I appreciated that. Like I'll take all the prayers and Mojo Jojo. Well, maybe not Mojo Jojo, but I'll take all the prayers that I can get. Right, that's fine. And then she was just like, "I'm gonna send you these vitamins," and I'm like, "Oh my god, here we go, here we go." It's like people who don't understand the mechanics of it, who don't understand the world of it, who don't understand that this is not my first fucking rodeo. I just told you that I've been doing this for over 3 years. Like I'm losing count actually. I keep saying it's been over 3 years. I don't. It's probably 4. I don't fucking know. It's been a while. This is not my first rodeo. And it's like every time I tell somebody black about like what I'm dealing with, they feel like they have the perfect cocktail, they have the perfect solution, they have the perfect vitamin, they have the perfect pill, they have the perfect tea, they have the perfect goop to help me get pregnant, as if it was that fucking easy. So this stranger person we've never met before, like we're in it now, right? We're having this conversation, and she's just like, I'm gonna send you these vitamins. Or she's like, so do you take vitamins or like supplements and stuff? And I was like, I do. And she's like, and I'm thinking she's asking because like she's trying to understand like my hair and like the damage or like whatever, aside from me cutting it, like the dryness and stuff. Because I did tell her earlier that I had been struggling with like my skin, my hair, and my nails and stuff because like, I was on like hormones for a while. And she's like, okay, thank you for letting me know. That was earlier. So then she's like, well, are you on medication and vitamins now? And I'm like, not the medication per se so much, but the vitamins, yes. And then she's like, well, like ones that your doctor tells you to take? And I was just like, no, just ones that I have. I have a lot of them. And she's just like, okay, well, I'm going to send you these. And she was just kind of like spottily saying, because my friend, I'm like, here we go. What about your friend? She's like, oh, because my friend was having an issue too. Like we really didn't think that she was going to be able to get pregnant and like hold the pregnancy or whatever. And like she was taking these vitamins that I gave her and like she got pregnant. And I'm like, okay. Okay. All right. And so that wasn't the end of it. She was assuming that I was straight, and I didn't correct that. This is the first time that has happened in a long, long time where I did not feel comfortable in talking about how queer I am. She assumed that I was straight. So after the whole like baby infertility talk, and her telling me it's important not to stress, you can't stress, and don't put pressure on it because that's not healthy, and do it'll happen. After that conversation, we get into like the dating pool conversation. She's like, oh, the dating pool in Arizona is just so awful, it's just so bad. And I'm just like, oh god, oh my god, here we go. And then she's like, wouldn't you agree? And I was like, yes, but probably not for the same reasons that you're saying. Yes, I do agree. The dating pool in Arizona is trash. And then she's just like going on and on, like, what do we do? And I'm like, we're probably not going to end up doing the same thing. And I was like, you might want to wait until you move to the other state that you said that you were going to move to in 5 years. And I'm probably going to have to find somebody from another state too. Like, it took everything in me. Well, not everything in me. It was very easy to not reveal that I'm gay as hell. I didn't want to, especially after the whole praying thing and her trying to tell me like how I should get pregnant. I don't want to go down that road because I don't really know how dark it is, you know? And she ended up being a young woman. I'm thinking that we're looking for an older woman. She's a little bit older than me, like 2 years older than me. So I'm like, okay, it's kind of rare that I come across people who are in my age group who are that conservative, like conservative thinking like that. So I'm like, oh shit, let me just not. Let me get my hair cut and finished before anything. Like I don't want to go down that road. So I was keeping it as universal and basic as possible because I just was not interested at all. And then the person that I was with, she just kept making noises, but I'm like looking at her, she's looking at me. And then so after the fact when we were talking, she was like, I was trying not to say anything. I was like, shut up, don't say nothing, because you know how these people are. Just weird. Weird, like the whole day was fucking weird. I ended up liking my hair. The person that I went with did not care for their hair. I thought it was cute, but that person did not like their hair. She didn't have to cut that much off of mine at all, which I was very proud about. So it was like my ends weren't as bad as I thought. She just needed to shape it and like cut the chunks out of it. And she was pissed about that, and I figured she would be, and was giving me beef about it. And again, I prepared for the beef, for the backlash, for the clowning, for the shit talking. I was prepared for it. But again, it was done, and I just like, I'm here now. Can you help me or not? She did. So when we packed our shit up at 10 o'clock, she was saying that her best friend was trying to come in and get her wig fixed. And I'm like, today? And she's just like, yeah. And I was like, bro, when are you going to go home to your kids? It's dark. You're the only one left in here. I'm like, I don't want to, like, can we walk out together? And she's just like, no, I'm going to call my best friend to see if she wants to come or not. No, don't call that hoe. You need to go home. You need to go home. I was like, I don't want to leave you here. Like, do these doors automatically lock? And she's like, no, I promise I'm safe. I'm good. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I'm like, it's not fine, but okay, I'm going to go. We're going to go. So we stopped to grab a little something to eat before we hit the road back home. Came home, and I was just like, we were basically bitching all the way home. I'm just trying to figure it out. And I'm just like, you know what? It happened. That's how the day unfolded, and it's over. And there's no point in continuing to bitch. There's no point. These are first world problems. I don't know if there are too many significant ways that we could have changed the circumstances, but let that be a big ass lesson to me. So you're probably like, Erica, let me see your fucking hair after all of that. I'm afraid to unwrap it because my hair is even shorter now. Like, I couldn't wrap it before. Now that it's a little bit shorter, I can't really wrap it, So I had to like tuck it in a circle, and I don't know how successful that was. So, but I'm gonna do it for you because you got to this part in the video and you deserve a little treat. Whether it's you clowning me or it actually looks good. I need to clean my apartment. Shut up. I know. Oh, okay. And I'm missing church. So because it's live, I'm going to have to just wait until they post it again later on this afternoon and watch it. I've been talking for 2 hours. Okay, it's not that bad. not know what's up with this piece. This piece, even last night I was having to like flip it over. What? Oh, okay. Edge control. And she told me to do this, and when I looked at it, I was like, that's not gonna work. But I did it anyway because I was trying to follow her instructions, and sure enough, that didn't work. But she told me to, oh, it smells so fucking good. My hair smells so good. Okay, that was weird. I don't care. Yeah, it's still fine. Except for that. Why is that going that way? She told me to take this, and she literally went, she was like, when you wrap it, go like that and go around. And I'm like, no. But I did it, and it's not right. This is supposed to go back here. What are you doing? Just hanging out? Literally? Okay. But I'll insert a picture of like how it looked last night and this actually works because I told her that I typically do one of these, but I typically do it on this side. But because the way that I cut my hair on this side was so jacked up, and like the cut was way actually back here, she's like, you're gonna wear it on this side. I was like, aye aye, Captain. Aye aye, Captain. But like my grays look so cute. They're all shiny and happy. I don't know what the back looks like now other than Toucan Sammy. But yesterday it was like feathery back here. Maybe this side is still feathery, but this side is probably flippy. Smells so good. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this piece. This piece doesn't want to be over there. It wants to be. But like my grays right here, they're cute. They don't look like cat hairs. They're like super shiny. You see that? Bitch, look at that shine. Look at that. So now that it's got a shape to it, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to cut anymore. That's going to be easy for me. I just needed it to be professionally done. Like I don't feel the urge to like keep cutting my hair because I just want to. I just was trying to get all of the dead, crunchy, disgusting ends off of my hair that I was feeling. And now that they're gone, I'm fine. That's all that I wanted. This is now a 2-hour-long video. I need to hurry up before my phone blows up. Can I show you the stuff that I got for consignment? I found some really good stuff. Let's start with the shoes. I've always wanted some shoes like this. And I don't know why I just didn't get them, but I saw these and they were my size and I got them and they were only however much they were. And cute, right? Especially with the new like pants that I got. Look how fucking cute these are. These are like sexy. I've always wanted some shoes like this. They're so cute. Yay, I'm excited about that. I just have to make sure I keep them clean. Yeah. I can't talk about how Wow. So those were actually cheaper than I thought. I thought I was going to be spending what I thought I was going to be spending on these, and it was like $30 cheaper than what I estimated. And I don't know why, but everything was on sale. Why did she give me everything on sale? Why am I questioning that? It's done. Everything was half off. Why was that half off? Everything was half off. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's why it was so cheap. Or like less, not cheap, but less than I anticipated. Okay. Maybe that's helping me to not feel so bad, because I had an attitude about thinking that I was not going to get my hair cut, and so I spent all this money on something else, and then I end up getting my hair cut also and spent what I spent on that. And the fact that I bought movie tickets and wasn't able to see the movie, like that's too much for me. That's too much money going in different places. Like that's too much. Even though the majority of it was benefiting me and it was for my pleasure and enjoyment and my like self-care, too much at one time. So it pissed me off that I spent the money, and then she popped up, and then I decided, yes, let's do it. And I spent that money, and I spent this money, and I spent that money. Overwhelmed. But this is making me feel better about just doing it, because I feel like I got my money's worth and it wasn't that bad. And she gave me half off for whatever reason. Anyways, I got more jeans. I love denim, especially good looking denim that like goes all the way down my leg. It's so hard to find jeans that are for tall people or like long legged people. I'm not tall. I have long limbs. I'm only 5'6", but I have long legs and they're chickeny. Okay. So they're skinny and long, and finding a pair of jeans. Yeah, here we go. I'm filling up my phone. So I need to make this quick and shut up. Finding a pair of jeans that fit nicely but are also the entire length of my leg is difficult, and for a reasonable price is difficult. I said before that Levi jeans are so yummy on me. They're so yummy. I love them. Great jeans. They are a little pricey for me, so I have to catch them on a sale, which I did at Nordstrom that one day, that one pair. Perfect. Anyways, so I got these Citizens of Humanity denim, and that's nice. I don't know, this is considered, is that boot cut or straight leg? I don't fucking know. But that's a nice regular pant. And I like the back. The tag on the back is cute. I'm over ripped jeans. I've been over ripped jeans for a while because they're just not as versatile as I need them to be. Like I need as many clothes as possible that I can wear to work, that I can wear to dinner, that I can wear to happy hour, that I can wear to whatever, that I can wear to church. You can wear ripped jeans to church, but what if I don't want to? And also, it's not even like I go to church. Like I listen to church, but I don't go. But anyways, I just needed a more versatile jean, and so I'm over ripped. They should just stop making ripped jeans. Oh, these are butter. Bitch, these are butter. These are J. Crew's, and they're called Matchsticks. I don't know anything about J. Crew's other than it's a really nice ass brand. But look at this wash. It's not really coming through on camera, but this is a dark wash, and they're nice as hell. And they're long. Look at that ass. Ooh. Can't wait for my booty to be in these. These are nice. These are also, I don't know I typically buy like skinny jeans or like the tapered jeans. I don't know if this is considered boot cut or straight leg. I think it's a straight leg because I think boot cuts are a little wider at the bottom. I don't know. Then I got these really nice Madewells. Oh, it's a high-rise skinny. I didn't see that. high rise. Okay, that's fine with me. I prefer that. They're Madewells, and I really like the color. I didn't notice that flaw in the stitching before, but it's fine. This is the color, right? There's the M for Madewell. There's a little leather piece, which I freaking love. So cute. The color is nice, right? And these are a skinny, but I love this color. I do have another pair of pants that are similar. It's not as rich as this color. Not as rich, but it's similar. So this will be my second pair of pants. But these were just like, ooh, gotta have them. Let's get some color in. So I got those. And then the last pair, what's funny is, I don't have them around me right now, but what's funny is these jeans I had on yesterday, and I found another pair in a slightly larger size in a darker wash, and I'm like, yay me. This is a sign that this is a sign that I'm just gonna do it. Pull the plug, pull the trigger. And the fact that they were so long, like, I don't think the jeans that I had on were this long, but I'm like, I have to get them. And they were on sale, right? No, these weren't on sale, but still, they're cheaper than like buying them brand new at the shop. Levi's. And they're like almost new. And maybe it's because I wear my jeans so long that they're like rubbed thin, rubbed raw. Like I wear them hard. But these feel newish or like gently used. But look how long they are. And they're folded, so they go on and on and on. And the wash on that, I like a darker denim. And the camera again is not showing how dark they actually are, but they are. And then, your typical Levi's. I wear these all the time. So now I have new Levi's, new to me Levi's. The other pairs are actually brand new, but yay, I got 4 pairs of pants and some sexy ass shoes. Somebody take me out with this hair. And I got my hair cut. Bitch, can't tell me nothing. Can't tell me nothing. It's gonna be a contacts week coming up. Oh, tomorrow's a holiday. But like Tuesday? Oh yeah, contacts. Maybe. Contacts? Yeah, contacts, huh? I'll do it. I'll put them in for you. But I also love these glasses. Like, these are a vibe, always. I need to figure out how to tighten them though, because I'm tired of them like falling. Anyways, I'm gonna shut my yap. I missed all of church talking to you, and that's not what I do. But I couldn't wait. I needed to get this off of my spirit. I needed to get the story out before it got convoluted by the day. I'm gonna finish my tea and then I'm gonna have some breakfast. It's the weekend of the first weekend after my fasting week and sleep schedule. I said that this morning, right? But the fact that I had been fasting intermittently throughout the week really saved my ass yesterday. Because when I tell you I didn't eat all day and I didn't feel like I was going to pass out or cuss anybody out, was amazing. Like, I had a little bit of trail mix and a turmeric shot And that was it all day. Like once we got in the car and we're on the way home, I didn't even order fast food. I didn't want it. I wasn't hungry. Like my stomach growled a little bit earlier in the day, just a teeny bit, but I wasn't hungry. I didn't want to like full on overload my body with fast food. So I ate the grapes that I had packed. And that's all that I ate the rest of the night. I was going to have a hot cup of tea when I got home to like relax myself, but I didn't. I just went to bed after I talked to my mom. So, my body, like my metabolism, like something has changed, and I appreciate that. My gut feels amazing. I did not anticipate to have such quick and positive gut results or effects from that, but my gut feels amazing. And so that alone makes me want to continue this. Like I'm excited for week 2 of intermittent fasting and healthy eating. But I did say that on the weekends were fair game, which meant I could take a break and kind of eat what I wanted to eat. But honestly, I haven't had the opportunity to, well, I did. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to get fast food and I didn't want it. Today, I'm not going to eat fast food. I might have some like ramen noodles because I've had a taste for those, but I don't know. I'm going to pull out the rest of my food that I prepped from the freezer and like start eating on that for a new week, because even though tomorrow is a holiday, it is still a Monday. And so I said Monday through Friday, it's about business. Weekends, I could do whatever the fuck I want. So tomorrow I will be eating right, sleep schedule, working out, testing blood sugar, continuing to take vitamins, supplements, meds. What else am I gonna do today? I'm gonna call the theater to see if they'll give me some money back. And then I need to look for something. Like, I don't want to go outside, but I probably should. Unless I go outside tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow I'm supposed to be going hiking. Like, I'll figure it out.